Okay guys, Brent Hull Wednesday design video. Got a classical house in Idaho. Let me know what you guys think. I made some changes to it. It's really all of those parts and pieces, that lost art of building that I think really makes a difference here. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so we got this house in Idaho that we're doing a fix on, and this is a client that really wants a classical house and the classical details, and I'm trying to help him think through why it's wrong, okay? And so part of the miss in this case is just architectural details like this element right here. The way that's drawn, you know, that's just showing kind of a 1x4 coming down and then a 1x4 underneath and then another, you know, 1x4 there. That's what's drawn, all right? And so, well, you're like, well, that's not how it was done, was it? No, it wasn't. In fact, there was a graceful and beautiful molding that came down that actually had shape. There was a split fillet that this went across, that there was a corona and a soffit that actually runs over so that this actually kicks out more. And then there's a bed mold. And so all of a sudden, what was just kind of three lines coming down now actually has shape and shadow and definition that wasn't there before. And then when you put these, you know, classical elements together, right, you have something that looks elegant, historical, and appropriate, and more beautiful. So, you know, you look at an opening like this, okay? If we really want a classical opening, there's not really a strong historic precedent for this or for the way this is set in here. And so just going back with something traditional, and, you know, Quinlan Terry was my muse on this thing as far as how this come together. But you'll notice in this picture that you've got this lower rustication with this stair going up. You've got this rubble stone kind of on the left side that is, it's organized. You can actually see it in layers and see it kind of organized by size, that you'll notice that has that 1:3 proportion so that it lays horizontally. And then you've got this really pretty cut stone in the middle that highlights it and elevates it. You'll see the same thing on this brick house where you've got this, you know, brick coining, brick banding. There's this brick body, but then in the center, you've got this cut stone that goes around it. But, you know, the double hung windows, they've got 9/6. Now, there is an historic precedent for a 9/6 window and different things, but not with this panel below. And so really we're just simplifying the way these details work around these openings, and I think making this house better. You know, this fan light window is too big for that opening in my opinion, so something simple will go along there better. And then, you know, talking about materials, that, you know, they've almost got like a river rock material there, and this is where hatching can really mess things up, because if this hatching, and the hatching is the drawings, the kind of the library of drawings that are available in these drawing programs. And so we don't know whether that's river rock. We don't know whether that is just a jumbled stone. We don't know really what's going on there. So if this plan was handed to a builder, there still needs to be a conversation about stone and how that works. What I'm going to show is I'm going to show a much more organized stone pattern that's not river rock, and then elevating this centerpiece with either cut stone or stucco or something so that there is an elevation in the quality of material. You know, look just the way these windows are, you know, casement windows. Casement windows in a classical house in America or in England really is more of a cottage look. And so you'll notice that I've gone back with a double hung window, and I'm changing the light pattern. I've got graduated fenestration, so larger windows on the bottom than on the top. I've changed the light size so that the glass is smaller in these windows. I put a little hood over that door with some kind of little sweep that runs around for iron railing. All of those things, I think, help it out. You look at the organization of this piece, and I've turned it into kind of a little more of a temple building. And so little small tweaks, all these little things that help this house become organized and look better. Look what's going on in the back of the house, right? They've got this large window. This is a house that looks out over a bluff, so you definitely want this to be able to look north. But unfortunately, we just got this wall that is hard to visualize and see in your mind. So my thought was, well, let's put a porch here. Let's break up this face with a porch, and maybe it's only 6, 8, 10 feet deep, enough to sit some chairs out there, but not, you know, 20 feet deep so it blocks the sunlight. but organizing this stair, you know, putting a little wall along here with some posts, columns that go along here, and then double columns in the middle so that the center is organized. Notice I didn't want the back and the front to look exactly alike, so I've changed this kind of pedimented thing, the same thing they had on the front, to something with some dormers up here that, you know, do this pedimented dormer and then this arch pediment, possibly with Baroque brackets. I mean, we can dress up so that the center of this thing looks organized and beautiful, but better than what's here. And really, you're changing the light pattern, you're changing the size of those things, and then a section of that detail shows you kind of where the house is and how far this porch comes out and what that looks like. But this is a classic example of these traditional houses that are built in America. We've forgotten how to build these traditional details. We've forgotten what these details are like. And so we end up with houses that mean well, but are kind of miss the mark because the parts and pieces aren't right. So it can make a big difference adding on these classical elements, understanding the scale and proportion. Let me know what you guys think. Okay guys, did that help? Organizing those spaces, putting the proper windows in, putting the proper moldings and molding details together, right? Reorganizing that house, which really can be a very special house, all with traditional details, all with the lost art of building. Let me know what you guys think. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.